Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Keely and today we actually have a request. So my brother messaged me and he's really big into Pokemon, and I guess he happened upon a free pattern for a Pokeball. So he asked that I make him one. And he gave me 3 Pokeballs to choose from to make him. He said the Luxury Ball, the Premier Ball, and the Friend Ball. And just what those look like is just the Luxury Ball is black with a gold band around and a little red and gold band at the top. And then the Premier is just like the Pokeball, except it has white on both the bottom and the top, and instead of black around the middle, it's red. And then the Friend Ball is just like the original Pokeball. It's except instead of red at the top, it's green with some red lines through it and a yellow circle in the middle. I'll insert a picture if I remember, but I'm gonna grab my yarn and kind of get started. I think what's gonna work up the quickest is the Premier Ball, just because it's basically 2 colors and that's all you have to do. The other 2 have more than 2 colors, and if I want to kind of knock this out tonight, which is kind of the goal I've set for myself, I think that'll work up the quickest. So I'm gonna grab that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have chosen this really bright white. I got this a while back and I wanted to try it. It's the bag of chenille from Premier Yarns. I wanted to try it and see if it was worth the money for buying the bag, because you get like 600 grams, I think. I'm not quite sure on that, but you got a lot. You got like almost a pound. And then I'm also using up this red I have. This is from Hobby Lobby. It's their Yarn Bee brand. I don't exactly know the official brand name because I don't have the label with me, but I'm using some of this up because their thickness matches up pretty well. I was going to try to use some of the Premier Red that I have, but it looks thicker in comparison, so I don't think that this white and the Premier Red will go together very well. Just even though they say they're 5 weight, the Premier seems a little thinner in comparison, so I'm gonna go with this so I can try to use it up. I also don't really like it. If you've worked with chenille yarn before, this white just doesn't really glide on the hook very well, whereas if you've used the Premier Parfait Chunky, it is really smooth and it's really easy to work with in comparison. So I want to try to use this white up before I actually buy a white that I know that I will like. So without further ado, let's get started and try to knock this out tonight. Okay, here is the finished product. It's okay. It's not bad. It took me like an hour and a half. I'm sorry if I'm blinding you with the white. It's coming across really crazy bright on camera, so I do apologize for that. But I had to sew on the little button for when you open the Pokeball, and this doesn't quite line up, but that's a thing that usually happens in general when you work in the round that I've noticed. The pattern did say, so if you've ever worked in the round before, and you work in a continuous round, what you normally do is you do your crochets. Normally it's single crochet, so you single crochet in the round, and then when you get back to your stitch marker to start the next round, you just single crochet in the stitch that your stitch marker is in, and then that's what starts the next round. This pattern said to do a slip stitch and then a chain, and I didn't really want to do that, and so that may be why it's a little off like this, but I'm not too worried about it. It gets the point across. Like, if you're familiar with it and you kind of know the different types of Pokeballs that are in it, you're gonna know that this is a premier Pokeball, so I'm not too worried about it. And I think he'll be happy with it. And bonus, I got to get rid of a lot more of my scrapyard. So here is how much we have left. It's not squished down as much, but it was like halfway up on this container. And so we got to use quite a bit of scrap yarn. And I had 2 bags of polyfill. One was pretty much out and I could have condensed it, but I didn't. So I used up the rest of the bag that was pretty much gone and only had to use a little bit of my other bag. So we're just getting a lot of wins tonight. So we got to do a nice and fast project. We got to get rid of some scrap yarn and we got to get rid of a bag of polyfill. So I think that is pretty good. If I remember, I will try to put the free pattern for this down below. Now in the pattern itself, it tells you on working a different ball, a different Pokeball than the one I chose, but I think it's pretty easy to switch out what colors you're going to use to work whatever Pokeball you're wanting to make. But I'll link that down below. And that is where we're going to end today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I will see you tomorrow for day 16.